UFC 322 Della Maddalena versus Makhachev predictions. Now we are usually right in about 10 out of 12 fights, 9 out of 12. We're in that range usually every week. So let's continue the good streak with this card. And with the first fight, Vyacheslav Borshev versus Matheus Camilo. We're just simply gonna go with Camilo. Um, he's just better. He can take him down and submit him because Borshev has no ground game. His record is terrible, and he's gonna lose this one by submission probably against Matheus Camilo. Baisangur Susurkaev versus Eric McConico. Now Eric McConico, his only loss in the UFC is against Nursultan Roziboev, and his only win in the UFC is a split decision against Cody Brundage. So he's gonna lose against Baisangur Susurkaev, who he did get kind of wobbled against Eric Nolan, who is a weight division below him, really, I think. But he still beat him by finish easily on like 4 days' notice after beating Murtaza Talha by body kick finish 4 days before. So that has to play a role that he cuts weight 2 times in 4 days. It could not have helped. This guy is talented. He trains with Hamzat and those people, and he's gonna win this one by finish against Eric McConico. Next fight, Chepe Mariscal versus Pat Sabatini. Now, Chepe Mariscal is pretty good, and Pat Sabatini is pretty good as well. Chepe Mariscal, he is on a very long win streak in the UFC as well. He had some losses outside the UFC, but they were against UFC fighters. To be fair, he beat Yusuf Zalal on the regionals, and then he fought Brito, who is in the UFC. Steve Garcia, who's in the UFC, and Sean Soriano, who is in the UFC. Since then, he's been on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fight win streak, like 6 of them being in the UFC, or 5 of them being in the UFC, including some impressive wins against Jack Jenkins, Morgan Charrier, uh, Damon Jackson, Ricardo Ramos. Pat Sabatini, he's like a submission specialist. He is also on a win streak, um, although a lot of them are grappling matches. He's been keeping active in that way. In the UFC, however, he beat Joanderson Brito and Jonathan Pierce. So that's a 2 fight win streak in the UFC. He's been grappling a lot. That's obviously his strength. But he's kind of old. Chepe Mariscal is also not like the youngest, but I don't know. This is a hard fight to predict. I honestly think Pat Sabatini is the better fighter. He's 35. He's been keeping active. You know what? I think, I think Pat Sabatini will win this one. Actually, I just think he's better. He's been keeping more active, and he's not that much older. I thought he was way older than that. So yeah, I can see Pat Sabatini really utilizing his wrestling here and grappling, and getting a win against Shep Mariscal. Gerald Meerschaert versus Kyle Daukaus. I'm sorry, GM3, you are done. Get out of the UFC. Kyle Daukaus is gonna knock him out pretty fast. Kyle Daukaus is very good. He came back to the UFC, knocked out Michel Pereira with like 1 or 2 punches. Um, he's been very good in the UFC. He's been very good lately. I mean, he had some trouble in his first UFC run, but I think he's back now and better than ever. So usually when guys come back the second time, they're way better. And Gerald Meerschaert is just too old. He has like 57 UFC, 57 MMA fights. He's lost 3 in a row. He's lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his last 7, and all of them except for one are by finish. It's not looking good for Gerald Meerschaert fans. You will lose again. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cody Haddon. Now, Cody Haddon is. We don't really know how good he is, or if he is good, to be honest. He did lose 1 time against Steve Urseg on the regional. Besides that, he's won every fight. But Malcolm Wellmaker, he's probably going to knock him out, let's be honest, with a left hook. He's pretty good. So I'm going to go with him again. Malcolm Wellmaker by knockout in this one. Next fight, Usually I don't predict women's fights, but this one I'm gonna go with Erin Blanchfield. I think Tracy Cortez, his head is out of the game. She's focusing on the wrong things, I think, and this is all Erin Blanchfield has in her life, so she's probably gonna win this fight. Just a extra prediction. Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodrigues. I think Gregory Rodrigues is the better fighter. He's a more well-rounded. He can grapple and strike, and he has a lot of power. Roman Kopylov, he does struggle when he fights against like top 20 guys or top 15 guys. Um, while Gregory Rodrigues, he has some very impressive wins in the UFC. He beat Jack Hermanson after getting destroyed by was it Jared Cannonier who destroyed him. He has beaten Christian Leroy Duncan, who's been looking very good lately. He beat Brad Tavares, and he's beat some guys here and there. And I think he has a more well-rounded game, and he's more experienced than Roman Kopylov, who was mainly a striker. So because of that, I think Gregory Rodrigues is going to have the advantage here, and he's probably going to utilize his grappling to win this fight. So I'm going with Gregory Rodrigues to win against Roman Kopylov. Bo Nickal versus Rodolfo Vieira. Now Vieira is a BJJ guy, and they don't like getting punched in the face. Um, while Bo Nickal is a wrestler. They're way tougher than Jiu-Jitsu guys, and I know people hate on him a lot because he talks a lot of shit, but he's still a good fighter. He's an extremely good wrestler. He just didn't use that against Rainier the Reader for some reason, and against Paul Craig. I think with this fight, he's gonna smarten up and use his wrestling for once, and I think he has decent striking as well. So I'm gonna go with Bo Nickal to win this fight, probably by decision. I think against Rodolfo Vieira. Next fight, Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Now, this is a very, very, very good fight. Is he a Syrian? Beneil Dariush. I didn't know. That makes sense. So, Beneil Dariush is a very good fighter. Um, he did lose two in a row against Charles Oliveira and Arman Sarukian, and they weren't good losses either. But then he came back and just destroyed Moicano, who destroyed BSD. And he has wins against Mateusz Gamrot. I know an old Tony Ferguson, but this guy has some good wins. He is very good. His grappling is extremely underrated, and he's fighting a very good fighter as well in BSD, who did get absolutely violated against Renato Moicano, and he lost against Justin Poirier. But although against Poirier, I did think he was winning the fight up until that point. I think he had staff and he gassed out. But up until that point, he was kind of ragdolling Dustin Poirier, to be fair. The problem here is he can't ragdoll Beneil Dariush. He just can't do that. And because his grappling is too good. And in the striking, I think BSD probably has some advantage, but I think Dariush is not bad striking either. That was my coffee. Um, I think Beneil Dariush is the more well-rounded fighter, way more experience, obviously, and he's just very good. He's a very good. He's not going to get ragdolled in this fight, so I'm gonna go with Beneil Dariush in this one to win. I'm pretty confident actually in that. Next fight: Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. Um, I think Leon Edwards is the better fighter. He has way better grappling. There's no doubt about it. I think his striking is like kind of on the same level as Carlos Prates, but his grappling is way better. But the only like risky factor is he gonna be the same after kind of getting humiliated against Bilal and getting ragdolled and beat very easily by Sean Brady? Is he gonna come back from that mentally? I feel like he is the type of fighter to be a bit mentally fragile. He's fighting Carlos Prates, who is extremely good at striking, but his grappling is kind of unknown. But yeah, overall, I just can't see Leon Edwards losing against Carlos Prates. I think he's too good. Although, because of the mental thing, you don't really know. But if his head is in the game, he should win this one based on skills and based on previous results. So I'm gonna trust in him to get over that mental hurdle, and I'm gonna go with Leon Edwards to win this fight and show everyone why his nickname is Rocky. Um, Next fight, Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Now, Michael Morales is very good. He's very athletic. He could have done a lot of other sports probably. He's young as well. So this loss that he's gonna get against Sean Brady is not gonna hurt him so much. He's gonna come back from it and hopefully become better because he is gonna lose against Sean Brady. Sean Brady is extremely good. His grappling is phenomenal. He is a he's some UFC fighters, they're just fighters. This guy is an actual like athlete. He trains the right way. He carries himself the right way, and I like Sean Brady, and I hope he wins, and I think he wins because what he did against Leon Edwards was just beautiful. It was one of the best performances I've seen this year. Extremely impressed. Obviously, he got humiliated. I mean, he lost against Bilal. He lost against Bilal Muhammad, but Bilal is very good. Although people don't want to say it, he is very good, and especially at that time, he was like unbeatable. So yeah, Sean Brady. I think he will fight. I think he's gonna fight Islam Makhachev soon. I think it's gonna be one of the best fights we've seen in a long time because his grappling is so good, and Islam is not gonna be able to grapple against him the same way he does against other people. So this is gonna be a phenomenal fight. But I'm going with Sean Brady to win this one. Next fight, Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. This is a very good fight. Women's fight. This is like the best women's fight maybe ever, actually. Although Valentina is 37, so we're not probably not getting her in the prime. Um, but Zhang Weili is 36 as well, so they're kind of same age. Um, it's going to be very interesting fight. It's going to go to a decision. I think no one is doubting that. I think at this point in their careers, I'm more impressed by what Zhang Weili has done lately. And although I'm a fan of both, I think Zhang Weili takes this one honestly. But she's smaller. Um, I don't know. It's going to go to decision, probably 48-47 split decision. So I think I'm going to lean towards Zhang Weili. Now for the main event, Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. Jack Della is on a 18 fight win streak, including wins against Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns, Kevin Holland, and Basil Hafez. I don't know why I said and Basil Hafez like he is on the same level as those other guys, but I'm going to be brutally honest here. The level of competition is not the same. Jack Della won a split decision against like an unknown guy on like 3 days' notice. He almost lost that fight. He won a split decision against Kevin Holland, and this is only 2 years ago. It's not like it's like 10 years ago. Uh, he won against Gilbert Burns, but he was getting like beat up that whole fight until he got a finish late in the fight, and then he had a very good performance against Bilal Muhammad. So out of his last 4 fights, 3 of them he could have easily lost, and then one he had a good performance. I don't see. I've seen people pick Jack Della in this one, and I just don't understand why and what. Like, if you're completely objective, how can you pick him to beat Islam Makhachev? I really don't understand. Because Islam Makhachev is just his resume is such unmatched in the UFC. He's beat like everyone in lightweight, and it's not like he's barely beating them. He's like destroying them. He had one close fight with Volk, who was the number one pound for pound fighter in the entire world, and he beat him. And then he rematched him and knocked him out. And he finished the number two pound for pound fighter in the world, Charles Oliveira, like back to back. Then he beat Dustin Poirier, finished him, finished Moicano in like the first round, finished Dan Hooker in the first round, finished Bobby Green in the first round. Like, this guy has been destroying everyone for a long time. people are talking about size, but I think even when he was a lightweight, I still think he was probably the same size as Jack Della. And it's not like he's training with small people either. He's training with big guys. So I don't see any way that Jack Della is going to win this one. Islam Makhachev is just better, and I don't think that's discussable. Um, Islam Makhachev is going to win this one. I think that's the most confident I've ever been in a prediction. And let me know what you think. Subscribe, and I'll see you soon.